Hello, this is Michael Kraut with IDEO Dudes, and this is a course introduction to Windows Server 2008 configuration part 3, and this is for the 70-640. So welcome to the presentation. The Windows Server 2008 is a registered trademark of Microsoft Corporation. In this course, it's going to be Windows 2008 server installation configuration from the ground up. That's what we've been dealing with this exam. So we're talking about all the different things of installing like DNS and DHCP and installing rights management server, the federation services, Active Directory domain services. It helps prepare you for the 70-640 exam, plus prepares you for a real world. This is the third part of a three-part course. Install, configure, modify Windows 2008 Server Domain Controller, configure Active Directory file services roles, gain a knowledge of implementing and maintaining Active Directory, performing proactive maintenance on Active Directory databases. The objectives for this course is it's going to prepare you for both the real world and the exam. So we're going to be looking at installing and configuring Windows 2008 Server Domain Controllers. What's the process? Why is it important for the domain controllers? Well, you know why. It's the starting point for an Active Directory domain. Implementing Windows Server 2008 Active Directory rights management. We're configuring and maintaining Active Directory databases. Design, implement, and maintain Active Directory federation services. Modify and maintain the Active Directory certificate services. We're going to describe the importance of Active Directory sites and services for replication. Configure Active Directory lightweight directory services. Now, the course prerequisites, you should have completed both parts 1 and 2 of the Windows Server 2008 configuration. If you haven't done that, stop this video, go back and complete those, because it's going to, each of the different parts are feeding into each other. So we'll have a big finale at the end. It's just like a novel. Don't read the end of the novel until you've actually gone and looked at the beginning, because you may have missed some very important concepts. So the module topics, we're going to install domain controllers. We're going to be configuring the operations master, which we have the FSMOs, which are going to be the schema master, domain naming master, the PDC emulator, the infrastructure master, and the RID master. We're going to describe those. We're going to by the time you get finished with this, you're going to understand how important these operations masters are. Configuring DFS replication of SYSVOL, which right now, when we look at how replication is for a configuration or the Active Directory, that's what SYSVOL is right now it's in the file replication services. Well, file replication services doesn't work as well as DFS replication. We'll show you why, what are the different reasons for using DFS replication instead of FRS. Configuring sites and subnets. Well, the sites, this is going to be the actual physical representation of Active Directory. See, from this point, we've been talking about the logical. Now we'll be going in and delving into the actual physical. And what this does is this is going to provide us the ability of configuring our replication of our domain controllers. Configuring global catalog and application directory partitions. Global catalog is another important server or service rule that we have on a domain controller, because a global catalog has a subset of all the attributes within the whole forest. So all the other domains are going to have attributes that we're going to publish on the global catalog. Global catalog is what we use for when we're doing querying for the global address list on Exchange, or trying to find those mailbox servers and so forth. Configuring replication, we'll be talking about how we can configure the replication to be replicated to the different domain controllers. Understanding domain and forest functional levels. We'll be looking at why do we want to update the domain functional level to Windows 2003 or forest functional level to 2003, or why wouldn't we? What would be the reason why we do the domain functional level to 2008 or the forest functional level to 2008? We'll also be looking at managing multiple domains and trust relationships. how we have the different types of trust relationships like transitive trusts and shortcut trusts, external trusts, enforced trusts, tree trusts. Proactive maintenance of Active Directory services. So we're going to provide a new type of environment or a utility that we can make it so that we're being proactive. What does proactive mean? We're making sure that we check things before something happens within our environment so that we're not caught with our tail on fire. Proactive directory performance management also. Active Directory lightweight directory services. And then we're going to look at Active Directory certificate services, directory rights management server, and federation services. These are all different server roles. Certificate services is going to deal with our certificates rights management, with our media, protected media. Federation services, single sign-on. We'll talk about the different types of Active Directory Federation services design. And then we'll also look at lightweight directory services, how this is an LDAP server, allows us to be able to provide an application directory that does not have to have domain controllers. Even though it says Active Directory, doesn't mean that it has to have domain controllers or be part of Active Directory at all. So it's a little misleading with the name, but it's lightweight directory services. It's a replacement for Atom, SP1. And also the Identity Lifecycle Manager uses lightweight directory services. Exchange with the Edge Transport uses lightweight directory services, and we can create our own application partitions within lightweight directory services also. And so we'll show you how to work with the lightweight directory services and get the best out of it. So you have labs and exercises that can be downloaded from the paperclip. I do recommend that you download these because and do the exercises, because this is going to enforce the real world and the exam material. I'll be pointing out throughout the course different exam tips. Also, what I would recommend is just to relax, have some fun, and enjoy the course. If you have any questions or comments, you can put them in the GoGo box. Let's get started.